Can everyone hear me? All right. Can everyone hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
All right. Hello and welcome to the S33 DSFL Draft. With me, I have several awesome hosts. I'm CC. I'm the GM of the Chicago Butchers, and I'm clicking the button tonight.
I'm Kotasa. I'm GM of the Tijuana Luchadors, so I'll be reading for them and London tonight.
I'm Lord Escanor Sama of the Dallas Bird Dogs. I'll be ad-libbing for us, and I was supposed to read for Norfolk, but Niggs doesn't like his receivers.
And I'm Painted. I'm the GM of Minnesota, also with Ice Bear's other GM. I'll be reading for Minnesota and Norfolk because next is better.
Hi, I'm Trempel. I'm the GM of the Bondi Beach Buccaneers, and I'm going to be reading for Bondi Beach and Portland.
I guess I should have mentioned that I'm reading for Kansas City, and that's it, actually, just Kansas City.
Professional.
Okay. So, with the first pick in the draft, Trempale and the Bondi Beach Buccaneers are on the clock.
And the Bondi Beach Buccaneers select user Vexler, St. Daniel wide receiver. Vexler is a new ISFL user, very active in PBE and SHL though. And through converse with him, we just got a really good impression and thought he would be a fantastic addition to our locker room and a great culture fit. Just a really great user in general, and we are excited to help start his ISFL career off on the right foot. He'll be our new wide receiver one, and we're very excited to see him play. Maybe he'll even be my new SHL GM, but we'll find that out tomorrow.
Ooh.
And welcome to Bondi Beach, Vexler.
All right. Next up, we've got London on the clock.
And with the second pick in the draft, the London Royals will select Lewis London. User is Gordon Bombay, and Sebster from London had this to say. Absolutely blown away by the utter Lewiser GMs who allowed this bomb of a pick to fall to us. This player brings more to the table than a Thanksgiving gourd on the table, and we are over the moon to bring him to the London Royals. I'm gonna add in a little bit. I really like Gordon too. He's really come in and he's already looking at helping around with the wiki and stuff. So anybody who helps with the wiki is a good friend of mine.
I am disgusted with that.
Oh, there's more. Oh, it does not stop.
He was doing this on the awards stream too. I can't talk too much though. After I went full in on drafting Nick L back a few seasons ago.
So glorious.
All right, next we've got Escanor and Dallas on the clock. Escanor.
All right,
Okay.
the NC 206. I'm here. We're absolutely stoked to have this guy. I had the pleasure of scouting him a few weeks ago. He's probably just excited to be here as I am. He's already over 100 TPE. He's already got a rookie mentor job. And I just knew we had to have him way back when he did his rookie presser, and he said he wanted to be a Dallas Bird Dog. So Rev and I, we went ahead and made it happen. So welcome to the team, NC.
Nice.
Amazing presence on Twitter, for sure.
He's impressive on Twitter, you said?
Oh, absolutely. Just dominates.
Once I remember the password to my Twitter, I'll have to check that out. All right. Next up, we've got Kansas City on the clock, and with the fourth pick in the draft, the Coyotes select cornerback Russet Buster, user Russ. That's a hell of a render right there.
That's sick. It's beautiful.
All right. So Kansas City had this to say about Russ. They said, "There's one thing every new player in this draft has in common. They've likely been greeted by Russ as soon as they signed up to the Discord. Kansas City is in a period of making a new image for themselves, and getting a known friendly face to continue that transition is a big deal for us. While we hope for two, even getting Russ to stick around for just one season is a great step in our aim to make the Kansas City locker room a place people want to be. Such a helpful and consistent contributor to the world of ISFL, he's a great name to now have attached to the Kansas City Coyotes, even if his player sucks." I
Yes,
think they're
sir.
spot on. I co-GM'd with Russ whenever I was GM of the Grey Ducks for several seasons, and or I guess it was just one season, wasn't it? Felt like it was several seasons with all of his help in the war room. But yeah, great dude, great dude.
Stealing them right before our pick.
Hey,
Shame.
had to do it.
The gloves are off in this one.
Exactly. And as Painted said, the Grey Ducks are on the clock.
And with the 5th pick in the first round of DSFL Draft, the Minnesota Grey Ducks select safety, Mathwell B, user Fetchwell. What can I say about this dude? He's from Minnesota. His PFP on Discord looks like a duck. He's incredibly active in the locker room. He's a safety where we have a positional hole at. Just an all around a great dude. He just fit every box we needed to get checked, and we're just so excited to have him. Honestly, I'm glad KCC had the pick before us because either picking him or Russ. And that was a very tough choice. So I'm okay taking second nabs at this. I really hope Fetchwell is happy to be with us because we're happy to have him.
CC?
You there?
Oops, my mic was muted. Sorry. Hopefully, Fetchwell can tolerate Painted and Ice Bear in Minnesota. And with the 6th pick, Tijuana's on the clock.
And the Tijuana Luchadors will select Darius Bailey. User is Drizzy. Drizzy is a older Tijuana player. Played here on his last character. We were super excited to be able to bring him back. He's a good friend of mine. And we really wanted to bring him back just for kind of cultural purposes. He's a really good locker room guy. He stayed active even after he was long gone. And that's just somebody that we really want to have. So welcome back to the team, Drizzy.
I was really happy to see Drizzy make a return to Sim Leagues. I know he kind of went MIA for a little bit, so I was really happy to see that he was okay.
As was I, man. As was I.
All right, 7th pick, Portland is on the clock.
With the 7th pick, the Portland Pythons select Spot Robodog. User T Masura. I hope I pronounced that right. And this is what the Portland Pythons had to say about Spot Robodog. We claimed Spot off of waivers, and they played a big part in getting us to the Ultimini. Unfortunately, due to a dumb error by myself, Robodog was left off our DC for the Ultimini. Oh, that's rough. I knew the only way to make it up to TMO was to take them with this pick. TMO is a phenomenal user who we all love in Portland, and look forward to having them join us. And I gotta say, if he would have lasted 2 more picks, we would have picked him for sure. He was very high on our draft board, so yeah, Portland picked a really good user here.
Nice. I'm sure that Norfolk wasn't super happy about their former GM getting taken 1 pick before them, but
That too,
like I said, the gloves came off.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Let's see who Norfolk took instead.
And with the 8th pick in the first round, Norfolk selects wide receiver Lucius Salim. User is I'm Satan Jr. This is what Norfolk had to say. I believe this is from Negs. We are beyond excited to bring in Lucius Salim. Salem, I don't know which one it is. Sorry. With this pick, we lost Patey to the ISFL this season, and we have no doubt that Salem will immediately step into a starting wide receiver spot. Satan Jr. was a pleasure to scout and someone we were beyond excited to have in our locker room. He recently got a job as backup updater, so we look forward to him making his mark into the league with him.
As the fantasy manager of Satan Jr.'s fantasy group, he has a pretty solid team, gotta say. So
Nice.
maybe that'll help somehow. All right.
Does he have the better Baltimore tight end though?
Ooh,
No one drafted you.
I don't.
You had to say that, didn't you? God dang it.
All
Alright,
right.
I'm out here.
Next up is Bondi Beach.
Alright, with the 9th pick, the Bondi Beach Buccaneers select Young Darius, Simon the Frog, cornerback. He said in the scouting conversations that he wanted to be as early as possible, maybe even first round. We didn't manage to get that, but think this is about as close as you can get. And what is there to say about young Garys except heck HO, right? In all seriousness, though, there's nothing but good things to say about him. Tons of league jobs, HO, very active, just an incredible user. And we're incredibly excited to have him on the team and look forward to his locker room presence.
I'm a little disappointed that the render wasn't a frog. I don't know if that was his choice or if it was the event.
It had potential. It had potential for sure.
Simon.
All right, next up we got London with the 10th pick.
Okay, and with the 10th pick in the draft, the London Royals will select Dane Johnson Jr. User is Rocket Man. So I'm doing something for London on this one. It's a little bit special. This user goes by Sean C on Discord, and Seb says, I hope to God he gets this, so just one moment. All right. Sean C was drafted January 6th, weighing in at 280 pounds, 8 ounces. He was the second of my 7 picks, the only one who wanted to play O-line when I scouted him, and that's how I knew that he was a special player. I hope you enjoyed that, Rocket Man. We can't wait to get you on the field. For those that don't know, that is December 4th by Jay-Z. So, Sean Carter.
That was awesome. I love that.
So, welcome to London.
All right, Escanor, let's see if you can top that on the 11th pick.
I can't. It's too early for that. All right, with the 11th pick in the ISFL draft, the Dallas selects Soulless Avenger. So Mobius Grander has been an absolute treasure to be able to talk to. He's in a few other leagues. Notably, he's in the WSBL, the basketball league. He's got 2 league jobs there, so hopefully that can translate over to the DSFL. So he's also a defensive tackle. He feels a big need that we're needing on defense, and hopefully he can come stable this defense, and we can get some championships with him. Sorry, yeah, can you talk this morning?
As a min guy, how dare you? Moby was welcome back to us. He's the greatest game night player.
He is, well, I would say second to Net.
Okay. Net will never be top, of course.
Upper Net is awesome. Moby's awesome, though. He's one of my favorite users. I remember doing a interview media with him like a year and a half ago when he very first joined the league. Awesome dude. Okay, with the 12th pick, the Kansas City Coyotes select a trade.
Yeah, I had to trade up to get in front of KCC here. We knew based off them picking Russ, they'd be trying to steal a bunch of our picks that we wanted. So, we gave the 4th we stole from them last year, and just to move up 2 spots in the 3rd and 2nd, and with the 4th too, since we kept their 4th. A little weird draft pick choice there. But anyway, we're on the clock now.
Yep.
And with that, the 12th pick, we select wide receiver Captain Billy Stinkwater, user Bronx Bombers. Bronx Bombers was a great scout. I recently, before scouting him, messed up a Twitter thing with him. So it was a real smooth sailing into the scouting conversation for sure. But all in all, he was a great scout. We really look forward to having him as a wide receiver. And he even said he joined some game nights. So he's filling our little Moby-shaped hole there. I'm really excited for him, and he's going to do really well paired up with Lane on the other side.
All right.
Yeah, I played with him in Arizona. He's great. I really like him.
I love that the player name, Captain Billy Stinkwater. It's a good one. Okay, and now after the trade, Kansas City is now on the clock again, and they select tight end Virginia Emmett, user Basserberger, and Amadon and First Phrase say, new users are the life of the DSFL, and we were delighted to see this one available in the 2nd round. Between a bunch of forum activity and showing up in multiple Discord channels, we're impressed by their start in the league, and we are going to work hard to keep Berger around and make them a solid tight end option for ISFL teams next season in the draft. And
Go.
What's that?
Go Hokies.
And with that, Tijuana is on the clock again.
Yeah, and with the 14th pick, the Tijuana Luchadors will select LSR Jones. User is Mithrandir. So this one was kind of special for me. First off, we got Myth back on waivers last season, had a little bit of a QB controversy when he came in and outplayed the league's MVP. But in all seriousness, Myth was one of the guys who brought me into Tijuana, so was Swanky. So to be able to bring them both back to Tijuana means a lot just to me personally, and they're really important to that locker room. They've been active forever in there ever since I joined the league in 2021 or whatever, whenever I joined, 2020. So, love those guys. Glad to bring Myth back.
Who could have
We
seen
saw
this
some
one coming?
GM.
All right, and we're back around to Portland now.
With the 15th pick of the draft, the Portland Pythons select Nokosa, aka Boone McCoy, and the second QBs off the board. Very exciting. Noka is another well-known user. We fell in love during scouting, and with Wendell Saylor moving on to Arizona, we needed a new QB. This draft had some great QB grades, but Noka stood out the most to us, and we look forward to a very bright future with Boone McCoy, and probably a lot of SIGs, if I can say so myself, and probably awesome SIGs. So,
Yep.
yeah,
Noka
it's going
No,
to be
awesome
awesome
at
to watch.
graphics. They
I told
Noka made the old Minnesota logo. I don't know if you guys knew that.
Yep.
Noka just got inducted to the Hall of Fame on his last player, and he told me he'd give me a SIG for that, so he owes me.
That's
Oh,
very
nice.
true. A tight end.
Calling him out right here.
Tight end for Hall of Fame. Let's go.
All right, next up we've got Norfolk.
Oh, sorry. With the pick in the DSFL draft, Norfolk selects linebacker Draco Carr,
Come on.
Sanaza. I'm sorry. User Vic. And this is what Norfolk had to say. Vic was someone we were not expecting to be here for a second round pick. He came on extremely strong from the beginning and from SHL, and I've had some amazing scouting conversations with him. We're looking forward to him joining our stacked linebacking core and for him to be in our locker room for game days and hyping everyone up. Honestly, this is a great pick, and if he had fallen any further, Minnesota would have definitely opted on him.
Painted, I would like you to pronounce the college that Draco Carr went to.
Oh my
Absolutely
god.
not.
Do it. We're
Absolutely
not advancing
not.
the slide until you
We
try.
will not continue.
Ball Rock
you
Community
do it.
College.
Yeah, sure, that.
I mean,
Okay, so now we've
Nice.
got Bondi Beach back on the clock because Painted's not playing nice.
But he didn't say it yet.
I know.
Okay. I guess I'll carry on. With the first pick of the third round, the Bondi Beach Buccaneers select another QB. Oh, you spoiled it. Rapid Eagle. Bageshwari Singh, I hope. This was a surprise that Rapid was still available for us. Being a QB probably helped us in that regard. But yeah, we had to jump on it. Buck alumni. So yeah, this was a very easy pick for us, and we'd have been dumb to pass up on that. And yeah, sim veteran, and we're happy to bring him around for another round. And yeah, very very excited. Yeah, Bondi Beach 6 will be awesome.
Nice. All right, we've got London back up now.
all right. And with their third pick in the draft, pick 18, the London Royals will select Spotty Odopalicious. User is Ziwas. And said had this to say. This pick really hit the spot in the war room. We are surprised at how many other... Let me restart. This pick really hit the spot in the war room, and we are surprised how many times the other GMs whizzed by this player. An absolutely dope scouting experience, and one of the best users in the league. We are happy to bring Z home to London. Z is also my GM in ISFL. He's great. I know he really wanted to go back to London, so I'm happy that he was able to do that.
You'd say it was a Dopalicious pick.
Yes.
This is a good name. Another good name. All right, Dallas is back on the clock with pick 19.
All right, with the 19th pick in the DSFL draft, the Dallas Bird Dogs select Derek Armstrong, Kid Hokage, So as a player, we're excited to have him. He's been so great in the Prospect Bowl, lighting it up in day 3. I saw he had a 2-touchdown game. So we're stoked to have a running back to be able to fill that spot that John Riggins is leaving when he gets called up. And then as a user, I'm excited to say that I know him as a person in real life. We work together. We're real good friends. So I cannot wait to have him in the locker room with us, and hopefully he lights it up on the field.
Had a little bit of an inside scoop on this one. Nice.
Just a tad bit.
All right, next up we've got Minnesota.
And with the 20th pick in the DSFL draft, Minnesota selects safety Cross Erickson. User is Tesla. I gotta say, we were very shocked that Tesla fell to the 3rd round because we were really expecting Norfolk to pick them back up. She is a great user, making all the highlights in the DSFL rookie server. Honestly, I can't really say anything more that everyone already knows. Tesla's a great pick, and we're very, very happy to have her. Doubling up a safety, we can definitely use her because safety in secondary is very needed when it comes to pass-happy leagues. So, Tesla, now you can join us for game nights, and you are obligated.
Tesla is one of the nicest users in the ISFL, if not number 1 on that list.
100%.
All right, next up we've got Kansas City, and with the 21st pick in the DSFL draft, they select defensive end Matthew Ashley, user that tackling guy. The GM said, as a team who desperately needs a QB, we expected to take one at this point, if not sooner. But with another Discord active new user on the board who also interviewed really well, we had to take that tackling guy here to join Strongjaw on our defensive line. He actually plays defensive end in real life, so that's a nice little extra to have on the team. They said, we really hope that tackling guy becomes a big part of our locker room this season. Love the Georgia render. Go Dogs.
I will say he was on our team for the trade deadline. He was a pleasure to have for sure. This is why we wanted to jump in front of Kansas City in the first place. We made the decision, and it was a hard one between him and Tesla, for sure.
Nice. All right. Well, glad to hear that Kansas City stole another pick from Minnesota. But we are moving on to the 22nd pick in Tijuana.
Before I announce this, man, CC, the heel turn going to KC from your former team. With pick 22 in the 3rd round, the Tijuana Luchadors will select Michelangelo McTurtle, user Slothface Killer. I mean, it's Sloth. We had to bring the guy back. He basically was at a point with the league where he didn't want to recreate, and recreated because he wanted to come back to Tijuana because our locker room was so active. We had the last 2 McTurtles, Raphael and Leonardo, last class, so we had to bring them in, complete the trio. I'm just so excited to bring him home, and I know that he is really happy to be here. So, welcome back, Sloth. I was supposed to say that he had character concerns, but the only thing I'm concerned about is him being too great.
Some big homer picks by Tijuana here in tonight's draft.
Had to do it to him.
All right, Portland is back on the clock.
All right, with the 23rd pick in the DSFL draft, Portland selects your boy JP, Eric Pirtle. They had a really good interview with your boy JP. And he seems very enthusiastic to be in the league, and seems like he could sneakily be a steal in the 3rd. So yeah, only good words from Portland. And yeah, hope they have a good time in the DSFL. Thank you for those notes, by the way, Tim.
Awesome. Next up, we've got Norfolk.
And with the 24th pick in the DSFL draft, Norfolk selects QB Osamataz Buckshank.
Have you never seen Key and Peele? Come on.
I'm sorry. I tried. I know it's right. Anyway, enough about me. This is what Norfolk had to say about this pick. Connor might be a FUD, but he's a Norfolk legend and someone we were aiming to draft to be our quarterback of the future. Looking forward to getting him back into the server, and it was an easy decision to grab him here. So congrats to Norfolk.
I'm surprised that they went to the lengths of actually kicking Connor from the server. I didn't know Norfolk was that locked down. Former GM can't even stay in the server while he's waiting to
Yeah.
be drafted.
Well, we were really close to drafting this guy as well. Very awesome guy.
Yeah, it'd be better if he
yeah.
was a Hearts fan, but we'll get past that. Next up, we've got Bondi Beach.
All right, drum roll, please. With the first pick in the 4th round, the Bondi Beach Buccaneers select another QB, Glimpse TC, player named Blake Baskin. And yeah, very surprising that we could grab this guy here. Also, another really great user. We had 3 QBs very high on our draft board just because of the users. It was Rapid, Connor, and Glimpse in no particular order, obviously. But yeah, being Connor being drafted with by Norfolk kind of took the decision from us. And yeah, being a QB probably led to falling to the 4th round, but we're very happy about it. And yeah, very excited to have him on the team and in the locker room, first of all. So yeah, very excited.
Glims is awesome. They were GM in Kansas City whenever I was GM of Minnesota, and I know we had a lot of fun times in GM chat. And I know that Kansas City is very sad that Glims isn't going to be part of the team anymore. But next up, we've got London's pick.
All right. And with pick 26, the London Royals will select Benny Hanna. User is Doom Raider. And this is what they had to say. Slicing and dicing his way up the field like a well-trained hibachi chef, Benny here is certain to wreak havoc on defenses for years to come. Doom and gloom are the only forecasts for the teams London will be rating this year with this waiver pickup, who was on the tight end of the year ballot last season. You know, I mean, there's some good hidden ones. I didn't emphasize them as much, but yeah, great pick here. He was, in fact, on the tight end of the year. And I know London is very excited to bring him back.
Do you guys ever just bite into a pepper like that? A yellow pepper?
All the time.
You disgust me every
You don't
day,
just
Painted.
eat peppers like an apple?
I guess I've been eating peppers wrong. But next up, we've got Dallas's pick at 27.
Sick. With pick 27 in the DSFL Draft, the Dallas Bird Dogs select Rumble Ronson, running back, Mr. Stinnett. So, Mr. Stinnett, he's a longtime user with multiple players. His most notable is probably his Hall of Fame defensive tackle Thorian Skarsgård for Orange County Otters. His last create was Charlemagne Cortez, the quarterback for Arizona and London. We're super stoked that he fell this far in the draft because we feel like he's an absolute steal, like candy in a candy shop. So welcome aboard, Mr. Stinnett, and we are super excited to have you.
This one hurt me on a personal level. I love Stenny. He's my QB. He's a
That's
Tijuana legend. I really wanted to bring him back. So seeing him go to Dallas, it pains me. It's like when Pat went to Dallas. It's painful for me.
By the way, Skarsgård played for Orange County and 1 or 2 seasons with Chicago. And if you want to get onto the good side of Mr. Stinnett, just talk to him about his lawn. He will love it.
His lawn, like his
Yes.
grass.
Yep, like his grass, exactly. All right, next up, Minnesota is on the clock.
With the 28th pick in the DSFL Draft, and the last pick in front of ACC, Minnesota selects wide receiver Abe Froman. User is Bellwood. Ice Bear actually recruited Bellwood, and this is what he had to say. When a bell and a wood love each other oh, never mind. Bellwood is actually a great prospect. When he was scouted by our scouts, got all well received. He's apparently part of another sim league and was a GM for a very long time, 6 years, I've been told. And that was incredible to find out. So he's hoping to also bring his experience over to this league and try it as a player here. Hopefully he grows into even more, and we take another GM prospect any day. So anyway, welcome Abe Froman and Mr. Bellwood himself.
Yeah, I talked to the student scouting, and he said he came from a werewolf server, which is kind of like Mafia. So we talked about that for like 20, 30 minutes. It was awesome. I like this dude.
Oh, werewolf's great.
Sounds like this could be a steal. Next up, we have Kansas City, who at pick 29 select quarterback Trevor Lorenzen, user Wildfire Micro. They said, this was the easiest pick of the draft for us. Wildfire has been a huge member of our locker room ever since we picked him up from waivers at the end of last season. Wildfire has been online watching the games with us, chatting in all of our channels, making SIGs for our players, keeping active over the holiday break, and being an all-around positive influence on the team. They're also the kind of person who is very welcoming to all the prospects that join both our channel and the general ISFL Discord. QBs stick around longer than most in the DSFL, and we're lucky to have Wildfire representing us for a long time to come. I know Wildfire pretty well. We were teammates for a while on their first player in the ISFL, Eric Richards, who was a linebacker for London and a safety for Chicago. And next up, we have Tijuana's pick.
All right. So at pick number 30, Tijuana will select Michael Patrick Porkins. User is Speculadora. So funny thing, I was actually briefly on Tijuana with Spec way back in the day, but he got traded right after the draft that I was also in, so I never actually got to share the field with him. But he is a Tijuana legend. Ben loves him very much, and Ben is kind of our senior boomer that we just let hang around. So very happy to bring Spec back into the fold.
Nice. Next up, we have Portland.
All right, with the 31st pick, Portland selects that small boy, player name Ian Cole III. And yeah, they had the following to say about the user. Who doesn't love DSB? DSB is another fantastic user who I had the pleasure of spending time in New York with. This is obviously written from Tim, who is playing in New York, I would guess. At least it will make sense. Yeah, DB's last player was also Python, so it's great having a familiar face back. And yeah, I can tell from my own experience, alumni is always awesome to have back.
Yep, I believe that small boy is from the legendary S22 class, which was my class. Next up, we have Norfolk's pick.
With the 32nd pick in the DSFL Draft, Norfolk selects wide receiver Erwin Kempt. User is Jay Dortle. This is what Norfolk had to say. Jay Dort is a longtime ISFL user and someone I enjoyed scouting a lot. We needed a wide receiver to add to our trio, and he was someone we were excited to still see on the board. We can't wait to add him to the locker room. He's going to be the stud. I'm also happy to say he joined Minnesota Secret Santa, so I know I also wanted him, so it's a great pick for Norfolk for sure.
Yeah, I vaguely know Jay Dortle from the good old days of the old ISFL game server. We used to play a lot of games together, like Among Us and Deceit, I think. Yeah,
What a
awesome
time.
dude. Next up is Bondi Beach.
With the first pick in the 5th round, the Bondi Beach Buccaneers select Evok. And this is perfect because I'm German, so I can really pronounce his name. Franz Udo Kuhlmann-Kaiser, O-line. All right, Evok is another in a long string of phenomenal users that we just couldn't pass up here. I'm very lucky to select Evok here, and a sim vet who's in both PB and SHL, and a great person to chat with and be around. I had a really great scouting conversation, and she's doing a fantastic job in the SHL. And even though we know she won't be as active here, we couldn't pass up the opportunity to grab her here with this pick. And yeah, maybe we'll convince her that the ISFL is worth spending more time on. But yeah, very great to have her here in Bondi. And yeah, maybe she'll enjoy the beach.
I love Evok so much. She and I were drafted in the S22 class together to Chicago, so we were on the team together for like a year and a half. And she was my GM in SHL, like you said. She's the GM of the Citadels. Awesome person.
Might end up there.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Go Citadels. I hope you do end up there. All right, next up we've got London.
All right, and before I read this, I want to drop a little hint. Have you guys ever noticed that London's logo is actually a lion? Isn't that neat?
Wow.
It's pretty good. So with pick 34, the London Royals will select Lenny Lyons. And they had this to say, no puns available here. Sorry, but I got nothing. We're excited to bring Lenny to the Royals and are extremely confident that we can churn out another perennial running back of the year candidate like Rocky Rhodes. Lenny had a great chat in scouting, and I know he will inject energy into an already exciting locker room here in London.
That was a
That's it.
fantastic hint that you gave there.
Thank you. I hope I didn't spoil anything.
Okay. Next, we've got Lord Escanor and the Dallas Bird Dogs.
With pick 5 in the DSFL Draft, the Dallas Bird Dogs select Orange Justice, running back Gator Matthew. So Orange Justice, his user is Testellos on Discord. He created late in the offseason. Being able to draft him kind of late, he seemed super excited once he saw the first prospect bowl, and having a third running back in the row, Pat's going to have a fucking easy season. All he's got to do is hand the ball off all season, it's going to look like. So welcome to the team, Testellos. We are super excited to have you, and we hope you enjoy Dallas.
You don't want Pat throwing the ball.
Yes.
You drafted Moby earlier, right, Escanor?
Yes, we did.
I'm sure that Matthew and Moby are going to get along just fine. Moby is the biggest Gators fan I've ever met in my entire life.
Oh, easy chemistry. We already knew this.
Oh, I'm sure you did. All right. Next, we have Kansas City. And at pick 36, the Coyotes select defensive end Olajide Olatunji. User Sori and Tyler.
That wasn't bad.
Hey, you be quiet. They said, after picking 2 new creates earlier in the draft with our 5th round pick, we are delighted to pick up another veteran. We hope to bulk up our D-line with Olatunji alongside Strongjaw and recent draftee Ashley. The only thing holding Sori and Tyler from max earning is getting a league job, so you know we'll be working our hardest to get them a job. There's a ton of league jobs available right now, so I think it finally might be time for Sori to get a league job. I know that in their retirement post they said that they wanted to retire and get a league job so that they could be a full max earner. So hopefully that's in the cards for him. Next
Wiki
up,
is always hiring.
Oh, you hear that? There we go. Next up, we've got Minnesota.
And with pick 37 of the DSFL Draft, Minnesota selects wide receiver, yet another one, Joey Den. User is Matty Ois, 971. Mattios, I'm just going to call him Matty, randomly stumbled into the ISFL from a wayward Google search. Incredibly, because he seems to be very excited about the concept of the league. Very big team first guy, and excited learning about the STEM league and whatever holes he needs to fill, he'll help fill them. Whether that be wide receiver or not, we're happy to have Joey and hope he is really excited for the league as much as and Minnesota as much as we are about him.
Yeah, this guy's on my WSBL team. I really enjoyed my scouting chat with him, and I thought it was hilarious that he tried to Google USFL and hit I by mistake and found us. It's a new recruitment method.
I was just about to say, as the recruitment head, maybe I need to find a way to leverage that. Next up, we have Kotasa and the Tijuana Luchadors.
All right, and at pick 38, Tijuana Luchadors will select Toby Holland Garfield. Users Roast Fuego /Soup. Soup's another Tijuana guy, man. We went full homer this draft. We wanted to bring in people who were active in our locker room and kept being active in our locker room and kind of, repay that loyalty. So we're really happy to have him back. Plus, the new Spider-Man movie is really, really good. So everybody should go see it if you enjoy those types.
It's fantastic.
It made me cry multiple times.
Yep, same.
Same.
The movie.
What's that, Trimpel?
The movie, or what do you mean?
The
movie.
Spider-Man
yeah.
movie.
Yeah, I watched it twice. It was good.
I want to go see it again, definitely. Okay. Pick 39. Portland is on the clock.
With pick 39, I'm running out of notes here, just FYI. Portland select Tyron Brackenridge Jr., username Lowly Crip. And Portland probably expect him to fill the big shoes that Spicy Ron and Pasta left the last 2 seasons. So yeah, this will be very exciting to see if he can fill those shoes and if Portland have another rookie of the year, defensive rookie of the year, or linebacker of the year in their hands. So yeah, if that's the case, that would be a huge steal in the draft.
I know that Cribb was on Kansas City's radar because they, I believe, are a former Coyote. And I think that
Just out of spite then.
I think that Brackenridge Sr. Was actually a very, very solid earner with the Sabercats. So hopefully Cribb can recreate that. But now we've got Norfolk on the clock.
With the 40th pick of the DSFL Draft, Norfolk selects kicker/punter Mustache Santoso. User is Saliva. Norfolk had to say this. We want to make sure our kicker spot, we wanted to shore up our kicker spot, and Saliva was the one to do that for us. He's a Norfolk alum, and we're happy to bring him back. Plus, he has arguably the top name in the draft, and he very much does. 10 out of 10.
All right. Next up, we have Bondi Beach.
With the first pick of the 6th round, the Bondi Beach Buccaneers select David W. Brooks, 0. Player named Tommy Fairplay. And this might be, I'm calling it now, this might be the steal of the draft, because it's very rare to find a really active user who drops this deep. And we hope that David can take this as extra motivation to prove all the other GMs wrong. And maybe he'll go first overall in the ISFL draft, Bondi Beach style. And we're very happy to have him here in sunny Sydney.
Nice. All right. Next up, we have London on the clock.
And with pick number 42, the London Royals will select J.C. Aletti, user BirdExe. And the Royals had this to say. The bird is the word in London. We are not excited, to bring JC home. Kicking is a vital aspect of the game that London was lacking last season. We are expecting JC to make a huge contribution. I'll let his play on the field show you why we're so pumped in the war room.
Man. All right. Escanor, I'm sure you can follow this one up just fine.
With the 45th pick in the DSFL Draft, the Dallas Bird Dogs select Mary Simpson IV, a linebacker, unknown figure. So with another linebacker pick, we are hoping that Mary can come help bolster down defense that was still soft last year. And as a 5th round pick, we absolutely believe that they can be better than Scotty McHits at that position. So welcome aboard, Mary Simpson, and we hope that you kill it in Dallas.
Not hard to be better than Scotty McHits.
It's not.
Scotty has been taking strays in the award stream and now in the DSFL draft. Rough week for Scotty. All right. 44th pick. The Kansas City Coyotes select running back Ram 1500, user 24 Red Crayons. So this is another veteran. Crayons first created in S24. He was offensive lineman Julio Jones, 2-time DSFL Offensive Lineman of the Year. Another steal from the Grey Ducks. He made it to well over 1,000 TPE on that player, so Kansas City doesn't have any issues thinking that they're going to earn. He's actually been a really good friend of mine ever since we were teammates in Minnesota way back in mid-2020 or whatever it was. So I'm glad that he's going to be on the team that I've been helping out with. I'm sure he's going to be a huge boost to the locker room. He was very active back in his time with Minnesota. I'm going to petition that we need to raise the name character limit because he had an amazing name before he had to lower it. I think it was something about Toyotathon. I can't remember exactly what it was, but it was hilarious.
I'm really sad the render isn't actually a Ram 1500, but what can you do?
I know. It would be a hard
And this
switch,
is the very
I guess.
reason. And this is the very reason why we tried to jump in KCC, because we were going to select him next. Regardless, the clock now, at the 45th pick in the DSFL draft, Minnesota selects. Wide receiver, yet again, Ayomide Ayo Delhi, I think. User is King Osiri, or Orsi. Regardless, your name's butchered, you got to deal with it there. King, we haven't really been able to find you in Discord, which is sad, but we wanted to take with our last pick the user we think was earning the best. And honestly, even though we can't find you in Discord, we really hope if you are watching the stream, you join it, you join our locker room and everything so we can get you active, because we've seen you active on the forum and we really want you to bring you in and like make you enjoy the experience even more in our locker room. Happy to have you.
All right, and with the 46th pick, Tijuana's on the clock.
All right, and with pick 46, Tijuana will select Blaze Jennings, user Coyote Jim. So this pick actually really helps us out because Vitor got called up after the draft, and he plays safety. We talked a little bit to Coyote Jim in scouting and stuff. He seems to have gone a little bit inactive, but we're hoping if he's watching this, he gets that passion to rejoin the league and, you know, come in and be that elite safety duo with Ferentz.
Okay. Next up, we have Portland.
With the 47th pick in the DSFL draft, Portland select Koen van Dalen. It's probably Dutch. Username is Emerald Rainman. And last time active on the 15th of December. Portland definitely hope to bring her back. And would be exciting. Would be definitely an exciting team to join and play on, and probably be active on the locker room. So no notes again, by the way, Tim. You know, winging it.
All right. Hopefully Negs has some notes for pick 48 because Norfolk is on the clock.
I do. And with the 48th pick of the DSFL draft, Norfolk selects running back Demetrius Matthews. User is Young Buck. And this is what Norfolk had to say about this pick. Young Buck's previous player died in a freak car accident, so we were happy to see him reincarnated as a running back. We weren't able to grab him the last time. We were thrilled to bring him back to pair with what will be a diddly running back tandem. Very sad to see what happened to his old player.
Yeah, very sad.
R.I.P.
Yep. Bondi Beach is next up.
All right, with the 49th pick, the Bondi Beach Buccaneers select Danny Boy, player name John Gaylor, safety. This is my personal favorite pick because I brought this guy into the league. Sadly, he stopped because he got a bit overwhelmed, but I'll try my best to bring him back. And we're very happy to have you here, Danny.
I'm sure that all of the other DSFL GMs in this voice chat would love if they came back.
Sure.
All right, London is now on the clock.
And with pick 50, the London Royals will select Roscoe White. User is Morelia Cipilota. I probably butchered that.
I feel like that's right.
And here's what they had to say. Roscoe, Mr. Shoddy put it on me. We knew we needed a challenge Kaguya this offseason and bring in some competition. I could not believe we were able to snag a quarterback this late in the draft. Right or wrong, competition is what makes us better, and we know one of these Coles is going to come out a diamond.
God bless London's late draft picks.
I know that this is all Seb, too.
It definitely is.
He's going to have to announce himself next time. He probably can't make it through the first one.
Yep. I feel like that's only fair. If he's gonna do this, he needs to host and read them himself.
Yeah. If we're suffering here.
Oh, no, I'm not suffering. I love doing this. This is a tradition.
All right. Next up, we have Dallas's last pick of the draft.
With the 51st pick in the DSFL draft, the Dallas Bird Dogs select Nordley Banjo Jr., a linebacker. Can I Live Forever 2 from Michigan State University. First of all, I love the name Nordley Banjo. I don't know what it means, but it sounds majestic. So that was a big role in us picking this guy. And also he's another linebacker, so we're once again bolstering down on the defense. So hopefully he can come in and make a strong fill-in for a much-needed position. So we're glad to have you, Nordley, and welcome to the team.
Awesome. And with what I believe is the last pick in the draft, Kansas City selects kicker punter Kit Houston, user Mythbusters. The GM said Myth was great to have in the locker room because Kansas City actually picked up Mythbusters at the trade deadline in waivers. They go on to say, unfortunately, she said that she was going to retire due to getting a new job. I can agree. Mythbusters was really, really awesome to have in the locker room. She was really nice. So maybe she will find some time. Maybe the new job won't be as overwhelming as she thinks, and she can come back. I believe we have waivers up next. I think there's
do.
slides for them. So
We do, but before that,
Okay. Go ahead.
a buzzer beater trade happened just as the draft ended. London really wanted King Orsi, so he messaged us, and he wanted to trade him for him so bad, and they gave us a 4th round next year. We couldn't pass it up because, again, we couldn't find him on Discord, so we really do hope that London will treat you right, and you can earn as much as you can, because if they are that confident trade for you to find you, we know they'll treat you right.
Awesome, yeah. London's a great team to be on. I have a lot of respect for London after being a GM against them for several seasons, and they broke my heart time and time over and over again. Okay, I'm going to click next. Hopefully we have the waivers on the slides. I believe Infinite added those. So, let's see.
Drum
The
roll.
draft is ended.
Ah,
Maybe the next slide. No, they haven't. Okay, I'm sure everyone knows all the team's waivers, hopefully. I have
I
some
can
waiver
announce
notes.
ours. I
Okay,
actually
yeah,
wrote a note.
go ahead, Shrimpill. You can go first.
Okay. With the first waiver pickup in the after the season 33 draft, we picked up not so good 88 player named Nacho Macho Man, and surprise, surprise, he's another QB. But he actually decided to switch to tight end, so we're very happy to grab another active user with our first waiver pickup, and hopefully he'll follow in the footsteps of the other big Bondi Beach tight ends. And yeah, we're very happy to grab him with our first waiver.
You guys went with the Berlin Fire Salamander strategy, drafting three quarterbacks.
Heck yeah.
All right. Do you have another one, or is that your only waiver?
No, that's the only one.
Okay. I'll go next. Kansas City had 2 waivers. The first one was safety bomb trading, user Farrell. They said, we haven't had much time with Farrell, but the immediate impression we get is that they're ready to play, learn, and be a great waiver pickup for us. We're looking forward to having Farrell become a regular member of our locker room very, very soon. And the next waiver was wide receiver Alex Armstrong, user Element. They said, within 24 hours of being in the league, Element had almost doubled their TPE and spent a lot of time in Discord asking for help and tips. If Element keeps this up, this is someone who would have been a first-round pick if they had joined the league just a little bit earlier. Element will most likely immediately become our star wide receiver. That's all for Kansas City. Painted, do you have yours in Norfolk's?
Let me do Minnesota's first since I have that up and ready.
Yep.
Minnesota, with their waiver pickup, picked up the kicker / punter Theo Lariat. The Discord username was CTOT. It looks like misspelled Colts, and he is a Colts fan. We are very excited to have him join recently and pick him up today. really active, and we already gave him a nickname, so he's already fitting right into the locker room. Can't wait to have him permanently stay in and be a great up himself. As for Norfolk, they do not have a waiver. That's right.
Okay. All right, Lord Escanor, do you want to go next?
Yes, so Dallas has a one waiver pickup. We've got cornerback Coutinho Mobley. So we went with the cornerback because with this draft we took 3 linebackers and 3 running backs, and as amazing as they are, we needed a little bit more substance at our positions. So we went with a position that we have abused in cornerback, and we are hoping that Coutinho can help come in and make a strong, positive impact right from the go. So we welcome you to Dallas, Coutinho.
Awesome. Kotasa, do you have your luchadors in London's ready?
Luchadors have not claimed anybody.
Okay.
I don't believe London has.
I have no idea.
Oh, they quick claimed Aldon Lagrecia, who's a defensive end. I actually don't have notes here. Shawboy Sean 12 is the user, so welcome to London.
Welcome to London. All right. I think that's about it for us. Everyone remember, no matter where you're drafted, you can always make an impact in the league. You don't have to be a high draft pick, so don't worry if you were low. I was actually pick 162 in the S22 draft, and look at me now. My players are still doing bad.
Had us in the first half, not gonna lie.
All right, thank you everyone for watching. Good luck to all of our new prospects in the league, and thank you guys for joining me on the draft stream.
Always a pleasure.
For sure.
Anytime.
Katasa, I'm waiting for you to say something.
Oh,
I'm gonna go spend
thank
time
you.
with my rookies now.
This is probably my last season, so I'm gonna really miss doing this with all you guys. Thank you, all you guys, and thank you, London, for the sick reading. I always love it. Enjoy your time in the DSFL. It's the best league, and it's a lot of fun. Enjoy your locker rooms, all that fun stuff.
Man, this just got sad.
Yeah,
Oh,
got a little sad.
But to lighten the mood, game night in Minnesota.
Yes, game night in Minnesota starting right
I'll
after
be
the
there.
draft. All right, thank you guys for watching. We will talk to you later. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.